What does Christianity say about veganism? Take 3. All right, so come on in, come on in. So we're just going to talk about a few basic things that I found and just thought I would share with you. And we'll try to be not too long. So a long time ago, I found about this project called the Blue Zones Project. They have a study. They look around the world and they try to find people around the world, pockets of population around the world that live to be over 100 years old, and what are they doing different than other places around the world? So there's a few more. These places are growing and growing. This is a picture of 5 different areas in the world where there's think about it, 10 times the normal amount of centenarians, people living over 100 years old, 10 times, right? In these areas, right? So the one I want to look at closely right now is in Loma Linda, California. All right, and then I just want to make sure that I have a. Whoops. Okay, just want to make sure that I have a that I'm that I'm working here. All right, so I hope that my volume's on. All right, so volume check, volume check. Okay. Okay, well, I hope so. We'll do a take 4. No big deal. All right. So the thing about this Loma Linda, California, is what they have a group of people called the Seventh-day Adventists, and inside this group of Seventh-day Adventists who follow a lot of the principles of the way I understand it, they love Christianity, they love Jesus Christ. So, and they have over 10 times the normal amount of people over 100 years old inside their group, right? So what do they have in common? Well, from the way I understand it, they are largely vegan. So take a look at that right here. I'm going to see if I can't come up. All right. Okay, I can't get a refresh. Get a refresh. Okay, yeah, I think we're okay. Among the Seventh-day Adventist Church, I was just reading this, which highlights they really go along with, I got turned on to the Genesis 1:29, like what does the Bible say about veganism? Like this is the way I understand it, is that this is the idea when, in the Bible, when you talk about God creating everything, that he created the plants, the seeds, the fruits, what I say, the fruits and vegetables, the whole grains, the legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds, all these things for us. And that's his ideal world, that's how he wanted it, right? And so I found that to be very and they largely go with this verse right here. And then also too, sometimes the word meat has been used in the Bible, but I feel like it's saying there's so many things that's challenging about about the Bible, is that it can be interpreted so many different ways, and depending on if you read, this interpretation or that interpretation. I mean, just this one particular verse right here, interpretation. I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be your food. That's your food. That's what they're saying, right? God is saying to the people, okay? But now in the King James Version, which is a very, like hard, I don't know the best way to describe it, but it's for lack of a better words, it's just going to be hard to understand. Like if you're just kind of reading the Bible for the first time, it's hard to really get the point. So just in this case, for example, right here, I'll show you how confusing it can be. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed. It's all good to the end. I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which the fruit of a tree is yielding seeds. Then you have the seeds of the tree. To you it shall be for meat. Meat. Why would you put the word meat in there? I mean, meat, but it doesn't make sense. But in the Bible, a lot of times, the word meat, it says the word meat, when our English version was made, meant food in general. So a lot of times they may say the word meat, but it's really standing for food in general. No one I have seen on my research so far has ever been able to find in the Bible where it says you must eat meat, right? I think as time changed, I think if Jesus was alive today, he wouldn't be eating it. I think he would be living in today's times. Those times were different at those times. And not that he even ate anything, as I'm not going to talk about that right now, so I'm not an expert on that, but he didn't really eat anything like that from the way that I understand it. But the word meat just really in the Bible, like in this particular case, Genesis 1:29, refers to food in general. Doesn't mean just that. So does that make sense? So I'm just going to leave you with that. That's just something to consider. Consider that plant-based diet. Consider that whole food, plant-based, vegan lifestyle. Whole foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains like brown rice and quinoa and oatmeal and legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds. And follow along my short stories. I'm going to be sharing a lot of stories about things that can be related to ideas on how to accomplish some of these things. And that's it. If you have any questions about anything, I think if you are currently a vegan, I think we should consider supporting each other in business. I have a lot of affiliate programs, a lot of services that I offer. Consider going through the description of the video and seeing if there's anything that you can relate with, and let's do business with each other, because as we grow, we can grow our impact, right? Our, making the world a healthier place. Because right now, just even from a health perspective, not just from a vegan perspective, but just from a general health perspective, how sad is it that out of 8 billion people in the whole world, how sad is it that 3 billion of those people are obese and they're suffering? So we have people suffering, we have animal suffering. Does that make sense? There's a lot of people suffering with the conditions that obesity brings, like strokes and heart disease and high blood pressure and erectile dysfunction and low energy and getting your limbs cut off, and there's all kind of awful things. So going with a whole food, plant-based vegan lifestyle is creating freedom for your health and less suffering for yourself as a person, and also less suffering for the killing of an animal that doesn't need to be killed anymore. That's old school. We got to get past that. That's in the past. We got to make that an awful part of our history. If you have any questions, anything, let me know. All my anything I'm involved with is inside the description of this video. And appreciate you. See you on the next lesson. Bye for now. What does Christianity say about veganism?